Hey guys, it's Kelly. Welcome back to the channel of chilled, relaxed, plain content where we talk about the good, the bad, the thriving, and the dying plants in our collection. And we try to learn the best way to grow our plants so that they survive and grow the way we want them to grow. So, if that sounds like something you're interested in, you'd like to contribute to, participate in, or you just want to hang out, hit the subscribe button. Let's be plant friends. So today I'm going to discuss with you a couple of plants I've had in my collection that I can't keep alive. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. There are actually two that I've kind of like figured out how to keep alive, and I'll show you those at the end. But I think I have a list of like 8 or 9 total, and yeah, so let me know if you guys struggle with these plants too, or if you have tips on how to grow them alternatively, like not in soil, so that they can grow. I'm not into I feel like that's just a big mess waiting to happen. I also have animals, like that's a lot of cleanup, where if I spill a pot with soil in it, I just sweep it up and we're good. So yeah, if you have any tips or tricks on some of these plants, let me know. I would very much appreciate it. So the first plant I'm going to talk to you about is the Begonia, the dumb cane. Oh man, I have all of these plants I've tried multiple times, multiple varieties, and they don't do it. For the Begonia, they just like melt. I don't know what it is. I can like not water that plant for a month, and I'm just still sitting there. I bring it home, it's not too wet, whatever, and I'm watching it melt for the whole month. I don't put water in it. I put it in bright light. I'm like, at one point I had them on heating pads, hoping that would help. Maybe the roots were still too saturated, something. It did not matter. They just rotted. I've tried to grow those in water as well, just straight as water plants, and still nothing. They rot. I don't know how you guys do it. I think the Begonia are beautiful, but I can't get them to live. And it's always like a really slow death for those plants too. Like I'll have it for like 6 months and just slowly watch it decline. And the bigger the plant you get, the longer it's struggling and the longer it takes to die. But yeah, it's just I can't. And they're so pretty, but that's just not for me. The next plant I want to talk to you about are spider plants. I've had the regular straight variety, and I've had the bane variety. And they start off nice and full and bushy, and then slowly they get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until there's like 3 leaves left, and then they're just gone. How do you guys have these huge hanging beautiful baskets with all the little babies? Like, I just want one little guy to live and survive and be cute, and I can't do it. It doesn't, they don't make it. The tips of the leaves crisp up, the bottom leaves like almost melt off, so I'm like, I don't know if I'm underwatering this plant, overwatering this plant. If this plant needs like special water, then it's not happening. But yeah, it was so sad. My little bane spider plant was nice and full and bushy and twisty and curly and so cute, and then it wasn't. It was another very slow death. I probably had that plant for almost a year, and then it finally, again, it had like 3 leaves, and then it didn't, and it never grew back. Yeah, very sad. The next plant I want to talk to you about, or group of plants, are the Rex Begonias. Where I live at home, it's nice and hot and humid during the summer, which was when I first got into plants a couple years ago, and so I bought a couple Rex Begonias, and they did great. They did beautifully over the summer. I was like, these are wonderful plants, all the different colored leaves and everything. And then fall hit, and the air dried up, and those guys just limped over, just poof, and they never stood back up. And then eventually they just shriveled up and died. Yeah, you need definitely like a terrarium or some type of, maybe even like a little fish tank, something that you can just put over them so that they have a little bit more humidity. And that's just not something I want to do. So I avoid the Rex Begonias. But I think they're very beautiful, and I love vicariously owning them through other YouTubers, and watching their begonias grow. Yeah, but for me, no. I'd love to just visit nurseries and look at all the really cute begonias and the Rex Begonias, and but maybe one day if I move to like the tropics, I'll get a couple and see what happens. But yeah, they don't like me. They don't like my care style. So the next one, I'm actually going to double up on this one. This is going to be the Photonias and the polka dot plants, partially because I really don't know the difference between them, and I never have either of them long enough to like get interested into looking into them. These guys always die extremely fast for me. I've heard like Photonias need water more often, and even putting just a little tray under them filled with water, like they didn't make it. And I think the same with the polka dot plants. Not 100% sure. Those guys definitely die very fast. And yeah, those guys, they're very cute. I like all the different colored leaves. It's like the begonias, the Rex Begonias, they're very cute. All the different colors and the veining, but they're too much drama. And like JoJo Siwa says, hold the drama. Okay? We ain't got that time to put into that, and yeah, so we avoid those guys at all costs, even when they're tempting and they're nice and big and lush at the plant stores or the big box stores. Especially around the holidays, you'll get like the little arrangements, and they have the different Photonias or the polka dot plants with other plants. No, don't do it. Don't do it. I don't care how cute it is. I can't do it because they just die flat out. Gone within like 2 weeks. Yeah. So the next plant I want to talk to you about are Alocasias. And I've tried the poly, I've tried tiny dancers, and I tried another kind. I can't remember. That one died real quick. But the poly lasted a couple of months. I think everybody's probably tried the poly, or know someone who has tried the poly. And I know of one person, her name is Laura at Succulents and Stories, who actually has one that's growing and thriving. I don't know how she does it. Props to you, because they end up being like the one leaf plant, and then they end up being the no leaf plant, and then that bulb never comes back. The tiny dancers I had for over a year. That one I've had the longest, and again, it started out with a whole bunch of leaves, like maybe 10, and then went down to 9, and then 8, and then it would put out a leaf, and I'm like, oh, we're back up to 9, and then it would drop 2 leaves, and eventually it was down to 1 leaf, and then no leaves, and that bulb never came back. It just rotted. So yeah, they're kind of hard. I don't know how people keep Alocasias alive. I'm jelly, but it's okay. I'll just watch from afar. I'll appreciate those plants from afar, as I do most of these plants on this list. Okay, the next group of plants I want to discuss, I actually have quite a few of them, and those are just succulents in general. For me, the succulents that live, I'm like looking at them, I'm like, are you guys okay? The succulents that live are more of like the Crassula variety or genus or something like that. Whatever, I guess genus, Crassula. A lot of them are like the Crassula, or the watch chain, where they're they have like thick leaves but a thin stem, if that makes sense. A lot of the like lithops are harder. I think I have like one original little lithops in the big pot that I originally bought. One is still alive, and then I bought another one because I can't stop myself. But the split rock succulents, they last for a little bit. They die. The ogre ears I kill. Any type of like more leafy succulent just doesn't do it. I don't want to say it because I'm gonna jinx it, but I have this little like 2-inch pot of string of pearls, and it's still alive. I hope she's not hearing it and decides to croak. This has been the longest I've ever had a string of pearls. Like, we're going on like a good like year and a half, and she's growing, she's doing well. The key to that is I ignore it. I forget I have it. It's actually kind of like behind another plant, so I forget about it. And she likes it. Okay. And she's in a bright window. Okay. All right. Fine. But yeah, if they're not like a type of crassula or like the little button succulents, I can't keep them alive. Yeah. I have tried. I am, because I have to try new plants, and the little succulents are cheap, and why not? I am trying, I think it's a type of fuzzy succulent, and it's like the first type of fuzzy succulent I'm trying, so we'll see how that goes. I don't have high hopes, but we're gonna try. Yeah. Okay, so the next plant I want to talk to you about how I struggle with. I actually just got a cutting from Kayla's Plants, and I popped them in water, and those are the prayer plants, or Calathea. I think they're all like related. I've never had a Calathea. I didn't torture myself with that because I've heard they're not good, but I did have a couple of these Marantas, and they really are so pretty. Like, they're very pretty, but they are thirsty plants, and the only way I've ever been able to keep them alive and happy and not crispy is by keeping them in water. This is just in straight water. It's actually in a cute little planter. Show you a cute little planter. But we're gonna try again with this plant as just a straight water plant, and we're gonna hope that she does good. I do feel a new leaf coming in through here, so we're doing good. I did have a variegated one of these that I got from another planty friend, and I popped it in water and it was growing, and it had the cutest little leaves. And not that I don't like these bigger leaves, but the smaller little Maranta leaves were just really cute, and it was just like this cute little like Maranta plant. So I'm kind of hoping the next leaf is like small, and I can kind of like get back to that like little small Maranta plant. I think a little mini plant of that is just beautiful. But yeah, these guys are not easy. They grow very, like again, in the summer when it's hot and humid, they grow really well. They vine out, they're crazy looking. And then fall and winter comes and they crisp up and they get the curl of death. That's what I call them, where they completely curl up. And at some point they don't uncurl. But yeah, I would recommend growing this in water, just because that's the only way I've been able to keep them happy for a prolonged period of time. I do fill this little water vessel up like every 3 days. These are a thirsty plant, and yeah, we have some roots. Show you a little bit of roots, and they just suck up a lot of water. So yeah, Maranta plants, not so easy. Okay, and the last plant I want to talk to you about as a tricky, hard to grow plant for a lot of people, I believe, are my Aglaonemas, or Aglaonemas, not just mine. Yeah, this was a hard plant for me. I went through a lot of Aglaonemas, watching a lot of them just rot or die or dry up. I mean, I tried everything. I tried ignoring that plant, putting it in bright light, putting it in darker light, watering it, not watering it. They all like struggled hard, and I finally got fed up one day, and I was like, you know what, I figured like all the roots were rotted, so I'm like, we're gonna unpot these, throw them in water, and try as water propagations. And it came out really good. So good that I think this is the only way I want to grow these plants, is just in water. They're always perky, they're always happy, they're always putting out new growth, and it makes like a beautiful bouquet of like just foliage. So this is my bouquet of Aglaonemas. And yeah, I would recommend, if you struggle with growing your Aglaonemas, or they don't look good, or they're not growing well, try them as water plants. They adapt relatively easy, and yeah, I think it's a good way to grow these plants. All right, guys. So these are my tricky houseplants that, for the most part, I avoid when I go shopping for plants. And yeah, let me know if you guys have found any tips or tricks on how to grow some of these plants, if I should just avoid them altogether. Let me know what you think about my Aglaonemas. I'm spilling so much water. But look how cute. Look at how cute they are. Oh, gorgeous. Do you think I have enough Aglaonemas? I have so many varieties just shoved in this little pot. Anyway, guys, until next time, relax, plant, and peace out.